GstarCAD Architecture 2017 has provided two concepts of wall, which were single wall and composite cavity wall. Generally, single wall had only one kind of material. For example, when user executing draw wall command, the dialog would be popped up. Clicking single wall option, user could select one kind of wall material. In the single wall state, user could set new type of material by clicking Style Manager button. After that, the drawing setting dialog would be appeared, and would stay at page of material style. Gray part of materials table was unable to edit. These were generated by software default. At the bottom of material table, user could click the first cell on the left of last row, in order to define a new material name. User should set stand hatch and detail hatch parameters, because, in architectural designing work, users setting different type of fill pattern, to distinguish material. Why there had two fill patterns? Stand hatch and detail hatch. Normally, fill pattern related to scale of drawing. When the scale was smaller than 1 to 100, such as 1 to 200 and 1 to 500, the wall and columns fill pattern would use stand hatch style. Otherwise, when the scale larger than 1 to 100, such as 150 and 120, the wall and columns fill pattern would use detail hatch style. After setting material ready, user should click OK button in drawing setting dialog, to save parameters. Then user executed draw wall command. In the single wall option, new material will appear in the list of wall material. Knowing about single wall, let's talk about composite cavity wall. Composite cavity wall had multiple materials. For example, when user executing draw wall command, the dialog would be popped up. Then, clicking composite wall option, user could select a kind of wall style. Then the table would show the materials of selected wall style, without editing. In the composite wall state, user could set new type of wall style by clicking Style Manager button. After that, the drawing setting dialog would be appeared, and would stay at page of wall style. Wall style name, are two kinds of wall style by default. Pressing button of new, it would pop up a dialog, in order to set a name for new wall style. After naming, it would generate an empty wall style. User could use add button to append materials to the table. Clicking the cell in the column of material, user could change other materials, such as customized before. Clicking the head of each row, user could select the material to edit. By using buttons of move up and move down, user could change the order of materials. Using remove button, it would remove the selected row from the wall style. The cell in the column of width, user could set the width of each material. By default, this value is BW, which means getting the actual width value from dialog of draw wall command. Particular attention to the unit format of width value is millimeter only, because in other cases of drawing unit settings, software would convert width value automatically. The cell in the column of priority, which was defined the display order of each material. The bigger value means, the material would get prior display order, and prior display effect. The cell in the column of scale, defined the fill patterns of standard hatch and detail hatch. These values were read from the materials, in page of material style. User could edit these values, to get better display effect. After setting wall style ready, user should click OK button in drawing setting dialog, to save parameters. Then user executed draw wall command. In the composite wall option, new wall style will appear in the list of wall style. By the way, when user created a new DWG file, these wall settings would be initiated by default. User might have a lot of material and wall style settings, in order to reuse. So that, after setting, we suggested to using Export button, to save a file for storing settings. User could use Import button, to reuse these settings from the file. User could also copy a wall object from DWG file to another one, in order to transmit wall settings.